Welcome back, focus learners. Usually on this explainer, we're dissecting massive research papers or, these huge, sprawling data sets. But today we are looking at a digital artifact so tiny, so incredibly brief, that most of us generate dozens of them a week without a second thought. Okay, let's dive into this, because this simple little digital breadcrumb is actually a fascinating window into exactly how information and identity flows across the modern internet. And right here is the absolute entirety of our source material for today's explainer. That's it. Just 2 lines. New note, followed by a URL. I know, it seems a little bit ironic, right? This solitary, completely contextless link is our entire puzzle to solve today. We don't have an author's bio, there's no introduction, no grand conclusion. It's just this one raw digital artifact. But if we put on our forensic hats for a second and truly analyze what we're looking at, we can decode a surprising amount of information about how our digital world operates right beneath the surface. Because if you were to go in and count every single letter, number, symbol, and space in that source document, you'd arrive at exactly 70 characters. 70 characters! I mean, back in the days of the early telegraph, that would barely give you a complete sentence. On Twitter, it doesn't even use up a third of your character limit. But in modern web architecture, every single one of those 70 characters has been engineered with absolute precision. They all have a specific, undeniable job to do. So for the rest of this explainer, we're going to do a microscopic, forensic deconstruction of every single letter and symbol to figure out exactly how this machinery works. Part 1. Dissecting the domain and unique identifier. We really have to treat this everyday URL like it's a digital archaeological artifact. If we brush away the dirt to look at the structure underneath, the first half of our mystery link is actually built in 3 very distinct steps. Step 1 is the protocol, the HTTPS. Step 2 is the short link domain, youtube.b, which is abbreviated specifically to save space when we're sharing on mobile. And step 3, that brings us to the specific video ID. Basically, this whole alphabet soup translates the internet's vast, chaotic infrastructure into a direct, hyperspecific route to one single piece of media. Let's isolate that video ID for just a second. And this brilliantly illustrates how modern database architecture handles scale. This specific 11-character string, ZFPZHLBFUZM, acts as an entirely unchangeable, unique digital fingerprint. Out of the billions upon billions of videos hosted out there, this exact combination of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and numbers points to one, and literally only one, specific file on a server somewhere in the world. That is the absolute core of our digital breadcrumb, because without it, the link goes absolutely nowhere. Part 2. The tracking parameter. But the URL doesn't stop after the video ID, does it? And that is exactly where this link silently morphs into a digital tracker. Right after the question mark, we see SI equals. So the crucial point here is that SI stands for Source Identifier, or Share Identifier. Its entire purpose is invisible data collection. When someone clicks the share button, the platform automatically generates this little tag and slaps it onto the end of the link. It's designed to track exactly where, how, or by whom this specific link was generated. It's just happening right in plain sight, completely baked into the very thing we're trying to share. Let's look at a visual comparison to really see what we actually end up sending to each other. On the left side, we have the clean link. Honestly, this is all you actually need to watch the video. It just ends right after that 11-character ID. But on the right side, we have the tracked link, which is the exact link from our source document. Look at all that extra text. When we copy and paste links from our phones or our laptops, we are unknowingly dragging along all this extra digital baggage. We aren't just sharing a piece of media anymore. We are essentially sharing a receipt of our own personal interaction with that platform. Let's zoom in on that exact piece of digital baggage, the tracking payload itself, ARPE76KB N33VHR. Now, this 16-character string looks completely randomized to us, right? But to the host server, it's incredibly valuable data. It silently encodes the original sharer's context. I mean, was it shared from an iPhone, an Android device, a web browser? Was it dropped directly into a text message or just copied to a clipboard? It might even tie back to a specific user's session history. This tiny string of letters and numbers acts like a homing beacon, connecting the person who eventually clicks the link right back to the exact moment the original person decided to share it. Part 3. The unseen content. Now, despite everything we've meticulously mapped out so far, there is a massive blind spot in our forensic analysis. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is how perfectly it visualizes our knowledge gap.
See that tiny 5% slice? That's the title New Note. The 15% slice is the rich trucking infrastructure we just spent the last few minutes decoding. But that massive 80% chunk, that is the unknown video content. We have completely, thoroughly dissected the envelope, but we still have absolutely no idea what the letter inside actually says. Unless we physically click that specific link, the actual media remains entirely invisible to us. This summary really highlights the strict limits of our context. Under our known data, the information is purely technical. We know the note title, we know the host platform from the short link, we have the exact video ID, and we have the tracker string. But then look at the unknown data. What's the video actually about? Is it a music video, a cooking tutorial, breaking news? We don't know the creator, we don't know the duration, and most importantly, we don't know the intended purpose of the person who saved this in the first place. We can deduce exactly how the delivery mechanism functions, for sure, but we are completely blind to the actual human message. Which brings us right back to the human element. The very first two words of our source document, New Note. This is the totally minimalist title provided by the author. It's literally just the default text most digital notepad apps generate when you open a blank page. Which begs a really fascinating question. What was the intention here? Why save this specific breadcrumb with absolutely zero surrounding text? Was it just a quick reminder to watch something later? A quick copy-paste to transfer a link between a phone and a laptop? The sheer lack of effort to name the file suggests it was temporary, fleeting even. Yet, the complex tracking metadata attached to it is permanent, meticulously recorded by the host servers. And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway for this explainer. I want you to consider this question. When we share a link without context, what are we really communicating? As we've seen today, a 70-character string is never just a link. It's a highly engineered routing mechanism attached to a silent surveillance tracker wrapped up in an envelope of our own digital behavior. So the next time you hit copy link and paste it into a text or a blank note, I want you to remember this breakdown. Remember the hidden weight of our everyday digital footprints and all that unseen data we unknowingly carry with us every single time we try to share a piece of the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this forensic deep dive, Focus Learners. Keep asking questions, keep examining the details, and I will see you in the next explainer.